some recommendations.
I'll go ahead and start it off, and with that, gotta get back on the rootin' tootin' good time with the hat.
Rootin' tootin' good time.
I'm gonna go. Actually, I got two of them. I'm gonna go ahead. First recommendation will be Inside Job. It's an animated series on Netflix. It's basically like, what if every conspiracy theory was true, and it's all headed by this company. They're called Cognito Inc., which is literally just Incognito Flip. And they're the company.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy. Okay. It's a comedy. So it's like they run the world, and so like you see sort of like, it's really like Office hijinks, but the company is a company that's like the shadow government of the world. It's funny as a bitch. And my second recommendation, which was the inspiration for the hat, even though I couldn't get a true cowboy hat, I really wish I did have one. The Harder They Fall.
I really wish you did too.
I might show up next episode with one.
As long as it ain't got see-through.
But no, yeah, The Harder They Fall. Like I was telling y'all earlier, I don't like westerns. They're just super slow to me. Like 310 to Yuma, I really liked because I thought that had enough action and sort of it didn't drag.
That was a newer western too. Like I feel like you based that on a lot of old westerns.
I think so.
There's not a lot of new westerns.
And I think
so. Is the Hateful Eight considered a western?
I didn't really like that. Okay. So I think what you're saying is that's a very newer western. I think it's what you're saying. I don't like the traditional old western.
You're thinking like the really old western.
But that's all. That was all for the longest. That was all I knew.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it was, you didn't like the twang. It was the bravado. Like you had to have a nigga that's riding horse for about 10 minutes.
But let's not act like
that was a solo nigga.
But let's not act like there wasn't a lot of drag time, and I can't deal with this hat, dog. Because I can't lean my head back and laugh. But let's not act like there wasn't a lot of stuff that dragged. But the Harder They Fall, it didn't. It was action pretty much from the beginning to the end.
I mean, all black cast.
Oh, I was gonna get into that. All black cast with some heavy hitters like Zazie Beetz. You got Idris, Jonathan Majors. Yes, Zazie Beetz. She was in there looking great. Regina King was in there looking awesome.
I've been hearing Lakeith killed it again.
Dog.
I've been hearing Lakeith killed
his
it.
character.
I love Lakeith. Like he's one of my.
His character was.
He's like a Christopher Walker of black people. Like he's very animated.
His character was like you could tell he got super into it. Go ahead.
No, keep on, because I got a question I want to ask.
And he was like, his character was like a character who he was an outlaw, but he didn't like violence.
He has to be awkward like that.
And so it was one of those things, like things would be happening. Do we really have to? But then, because he's an outlaw, he's still on hills.
Y'all give me a chance.
Delroy Lindo was in there catching bodies.
Who? Oh.
Delroy Lindo,
yeah.
He was in there because he was the deputy. He's actually the actual guy. Was who the Lone Ranger is. Like that story of the Lone Ranger. I forgot his name. His name. Last name is Bess. Like I'm trying to. Bash Reeves. Yeah. That is the Lone Ranger. They just took his story, made him white.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the thing about this too. I love that hearing.
That's what I was gonna say. The one thing, the first thing you see when you turn it on, it tells you this is a work of fiction. This story did not happen, but everybody in this, they are real people. So Nat Love is a real person. Stagecoach Mary, real person.
So they made a group like a Western story using all
real people. Cherokee Bill, real person. Rufus Buck, real person. This is just a story using them, and it's crazy because it's like, bro, this is so cool. It got so big, like people who just they didn't know, like Stagecoach Mary. People was like, hey, well, why did you cast a light-skinned actress to be Stagecoach Mary? Because people done found up pictures on it. It wasn't enough that like it was like a big outrage. Like people asked the question. He was like, it's not a biopic. If this was a biopic, I would have. This is a story with these characters.
And what was dope about on Twitter today? They had a Twitter space, and Jay-Z and them was talking to them. And so one of the speakers, they were saying like, oh man, yeah, I love it. It's like seeing the X-Men. And Jay-Z was like, no, but they are X-Men. He was like, these are heroes that we put together into like a
yeah.
And so I was like, I haven't watched it yet, but I was like, I love
The story is great too. Like I know neither one of y'all have seen it.
Like they said, the story didn't happen, but they used real people
to make a story. Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like I didn't think about that. Like that's actually a very creative and very I want to say original idea that I've ever really like to pull so many. That's like it's almost in the sense of like what Expendables is. Yeah, Expendables would be like pulling all these characters from different places and putting them in that role because even though they're all a different name, you know, even though they're not like Expendables have been cold, they really were taking like Rocky and Dolph Lundgren, you know what I'm saying? Like all, you know what I'm saying? But we know them as who we
and that's sort of how they sort of took it. And like the soundtrack, and I don't know, like the music that they picked for each scene. Oh yeah, dog, the way that it ties in. And
did you listen to the whole thing today?
Yeah, I listened to. I think because I missed a couple minutes.
Because the director was saying like you know how a lot of music was always black, right? So it was like Western music, it was black and it's in it, but they take it out. And so he was like, if you listen to a lot of now, like reggae and a lot of now, you know, type of music, it's really the same twang as Western. So the reason why he's like, we're making a modern day Western. I'm just saying, like, you hear the
you hear it's when I say
the new age version of that, and so that's why like it's still Western.
It fits so well into like the music. Really? The music, the way it ties into the scenes, is amazing. Like
I'm gonna have to watch. I was definitely excited to watch it. Like I was mad. I meant to try to watch it before.
Other hilarious side note: the director is Steele's brother.
Yeah, it's Steele's brother.
Found that out today. That's Steele's brother. Hilarious. Like
I didn't even know the nigga had a brother.
I didn't either.
This nigga got a. Oh yeah.
So before we get to the next recommendation, because you brought up a good thing that I wanted to ask. Is Lakeith your favorite new actor?
Black actor or just actor in general?
Black actor.
It has been him for a very long time, and like I said, probably because I haven't seen The Harder They Fall yet. It's been a minute since I've seen him. Mm-hmm. So for a minute, what's his name just took over from?
I'm not gonna lie, Jonathan Majors might have it for me.
Majors. Yeah. So Majors took over because I haven't seen Lakeith.
But Majors is in this.
No, right? I know. For me, and the reason why I asked that because I was like, what's the other guy from Atlanta?
Oh, you talking about Doughboy?
Yeah. Paperboy?
Yeah, Paperboy. I can't think of his name.
Oh, I just had it. Brian Tyree. So Tyree Henry, right?
Yeah. So for the longest, it's a up and up race with him and Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya is also.
Those been my two.
Lakeith has been mine because.
But I was when you said Lakeith, I was like, man, Atlanta really got some like great cast.
That's why it ain't been back.
Yeah, their cast was cold. Like Lakeith has been a big fan of mine because he really has always done roles that was just really typical. Like just like to be like he wants to be the conundrum. You know what I'm saying? Like to be the person that has to be outlaw but don't want violence. He's gonna body that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't be violent. You gotta be the awkward nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I think Jonathan Majors, and I know you said favorite new black actor. I'm going on. He might be my favorite actor right now.
Who? Jonathan Majors,
just from the range. Just think of the last 3 roles we've seen him. Yeah. The range from like I get y'all haven't seen The Harder They Fall yet, but between that, the little bit that we saw at the end of Loki, and then Lovecraft, and even the Five Bloods, like that. The acting in those have been
that's why Daniel Kaluuya may be my top actor in general right now too because of that. Because seeing
that's fair.
His range. Because I forgot this is how the range really caught me. I forgot when he was in Black Panther. I forgot that he was in Jordan Peele's movie.
Oh, Us, yeah.
No, not Us. Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah. Then I was like, wait, yeah, he said Get Out. And then when I watched what's the name, I'm like, damn, like this, like it's
he was great. What was it, Widows?
Yeah, Widows.
He was great at Widows.
It's his. So same thing you said. His range.
The range, yeah.
Those are three sides. If you take Jonathan Majors, Daniel Kaluuya, and Lakeith, and just talk about range with all 3.
Yeah.
I mean, they're arranged like when we constantly try to make this fight like this is always a stereotypical black role. these three alone have not even touched those stereotypical black. You know what I'm saying? Even if you put Lakeith in Atlanta and say he was a drug dealer, this nigga was doing. This nigga was selling pit bulls to give you your money back seasons later. Like, I got your money back. Like, here's your money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like had a gun. Didn't he have a gun in
that'd be a cult project to have all three of them in.
Well, I mean, yeah, because they work just random. Because what was the movie? My people's.
The Black Messiah. Yeah, Black Messiah.
Black Messiah
had that was really good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Obviously, The Harder They Fall has Lakeith and Jonathan Majors.
Like Lakeith, like I said, Lakeith is like I love Lakeith because he reminds me. To me, he gives me a dynamic that we just haven't got. I feel like we haven't got it from him yet, but he gives me really strong, like Johnny Depp. Like he can do like if you put this nigga in makeup in a costume, he'll body some shit. I can see him doing some stuff like put his like make him up and do some shit. Yeah, like I can definitely see him body and shit. Like Jack Sparrow, I can see him doing all of that. Yeah, so like that's why I like. It's like because he has this demeanor about him that's like. This is who I am. Like you're telling me this is the character.
Now I know why you like Death Note the movie.
Yeah, like I said, like
I hated it, and even with what you're saying, that's the reason why I hated it. That's not how I envisioned light.
I mean, yeah. And it's like to have someone, to have even like someone pick him to be he wasn't he was L. Yeah, pick L, and I knew he had to at least watch the anime from how he was portraying the character.
He was probably one of the best performances in that movie.
He was the best performance.
No, he definitely was the best performance. But it's to me, with compared to the anime, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he definitely was the best performance.
That's what I'm trying to think about.
Lakeith plays awkward perfect.
If that was a different role, if I do nothing other than anime, that role, I'm like, he killed that role.
Yeah, like even like I said, like the show, the telemarketing show that he had, the movie, like that shit, like
crap.
Sorry, I missed you.
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah, like that shit was amazing. Like he's definitely like I said, he's always.
Oh, boy's also dope too. Why can't they?
Jermaine Fowler.
Jermaine Fowler too.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he's definitely Lakeith my favorite. Like I mean, now that I think about it's because I haven't seen him in a minute. That just like Majors crawled in.
Yeah,
but I knew if I'd have watched this first, I'd have still been like Lakeith. Probably, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like the fact that he's playing a fucking.
They both had amazing. They both played it amazing. Idris was cold in it, like playing that. Like Idris was like I don't know how much you were listening when they were saying like that they couldn't tell who's the protagonist in this. I agree, you couldn't. But like Idris was playing that sort of like the bad. I guess you wouldn't call it like sort of the bad guy role because he was the person who was getting revenge taken on. Okay. So like the Majors was the one who's getting the revenge. He's the one. Idris is the one who's the other side of it. And for him to play that role, like niggas, they had some monologues in that one that was top notch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely. It's probably gonna be watching. I'm either watching tonight or tomorrow.
I'm definitely probably gonna watch tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch.
I feel like Colin and both of them pretty much came in clutch.
Yeah.
This week as a really good drop for us for the culture.
Yep. So
me? All right.
No. I'm gonna say that way. Okay. So my recommendation. Oh, all right.
Maybe you should have went.
You're right.
No, right. Yeah. So even though I did talk about it, like Batman: The Long Halloween.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be my recommendation.
That's fair.
The storyline is good, and I did enjoy it. So it's like as far as like rogue gallery, I always like to see a good rogue gallery. And the way that it's two movies, so it's a two-parter. But the rogue gallery that they did in here is really good. The voice animation is done really dope. And yeah, the storyline, like the mystery, I was like, because when Batman got stumped, I legit got stumped. I'm like, oh shit! I thought that too, nigga.
So you got followed. You got led.
Yeah, you got to follow.
That's a good twist.
It's a good twist. And in the end, it's a good twist as well. So it's like DC animation to me has always been top tier. Like they've been killing it. As far as their animation.
Yeah, the DC animation is always good. So I said.
And then my second recommendation recommendation is Insecure's back. Make sure you go watch Insecure, man.
Yeah, I haven't started watching it yet.
I did. The season started really dope, man.
I missed the second episode.
Yeah, so Insecure, man. That's
definitely my shit.
Final season
is my shit.
So what I'm saying.
Lawrence is my spirit animal. So I definitely gotta see how you make it out of this.
If you have not watched it yet, then I'm not gonna give any spoilers. But if you did watch it, the first episode, I said the writers and the directors are so dope because that episode took us from excitement to scared to laughing to what the hell? Like just like in one episode,
it was a roller coaster.
It was just an extreme roller coaster. And it was like dog, like how did y'all do that? That was so dope. And I don't know the way that they shoot Insecure, man. Like from just a visual standpoint, Insecure is really shot well.
I mean, it's in a great place. It's shot in a great place.
Yeah, but it's just shot so well.
It's
very artistic. I find myself catching things that I'm like, why am I catching this?
I love the way it looks.
Yeah, a lot of eye popping.
I really do love the way
it's always been. Like Insecure looks very clean, so you can really kind of see the scene. And, it's very clean. It's clean enough that you can, like, if you just move your eyes in a weird way, you would just notice something. Like they make sure to have certain things pop.
Right.
Like throughout the scene that you wouldn't know was there. You can't just stare straight, like blink. You know what I'm saying? Like something's gonna always make your eye move around, whether it be the actors themselves or just something. They walk past something. It's like, hold on, now you're looking back at what they walk past, whatever kind of thing. Because it's so there's not a lot of clutter in the show. You know what I'm saying? So I know what you're saying. Like I noticed that too. Yeah. Insecure. I'm excited for it. Yeah. That's definitely. It hasn't been a show that really, in the sense to me, involves more like women since like girlfriends. That I was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like I was really like I'm in tune with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the funniest thing is that like I got onto Issa Rae's wave late. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't watch Awkward Black Girl, then I was told about Awkward Black Girl, then I went back and I watched it, and then I was like, Insecure is about to start. So then I watched Insecure, and I am like the way that I'm team like Hov, and like the way I stand for like Beyonce and Serena
thought you
Williams.
said Team Hov for a second. I missed that one.
No.
What was that one?
Like I'm for everything Issa does. Like I'm like I love everything.
I agree. I am too.
I'm like a huge fan of Issa Rae and everything she does. So those are my two recommendations.
What you got for us?
I mean, mine is of course going to be fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Okay, that's
fair. That game was amazing, and I really believe if anyone's a fan of video games or comic books, whatever, going to video games, whatever, and we've been stung by a lot of bad ones, like this is actually a really, really, really good one.
Okay.
Really good single player game. And as far, I do have a second one, and it will actually still be the game I was going to, I was talking about it a little bit at first, was the AI Must Die. It's actually, I can't remember the company, it's a single.
Oh yeah, I wanted to hear the rest of this.
It's one of those little indie games. So like, but I feel like it's like, so what caught my eyes, and if you see, I don't know if it's on the PlayStation Store, it's on the Xbox Store.
You said it's called Aeon Must Die?
Aeon Must Die. It's drawn fucking master. Like, the animation of it, but it's like it's almost like feels like you're playing like a Streets of Rage or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's more like,
it's on PlayStation. Like
pop in, pop out characters. Like you just like one person you fight, beat them real quick, one person come out. But like I said, it feels it's like it has those weird kind of storylines where it's pretty much this Lord Aeon or whatever was like the head of this army and was back betrayed and sent away, and his spirit was like put into this lowly body of like the rebellion that's of the rebellion army that was pretty much trying to fight them. Right. So now it's like this. Now you're that rebellion person and Aeon in the same body, and he's like, nigga, you're only alive to do like, you're only alive because I'm in your body. Like,
right.
You're dying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm gonna give you this power, and it's a lot of like it's a very straightforward like beat 'em up whatever, but it's a lot of combo moves and a lot of like a lot of strong but it looks good, like how it's written and like how it's drawn out and everything like that. It looks amazing, and I'm always a big fan of indie games that really just kind of do like it's like a $20 game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
just that's saying
that put more effort into something that, you know what I'm saying, that's different. So it does have its own like good or bad system, because I mean like you gain more power
also
from
like
AI if you're killing the victims, and actually harder, and you know what I'm saying. But you get a different kind of set of weapons if you choose to heal everybody. You know what I'm saying, because if you're not relying on the power, you know what I'm saying, then everybody else you're gonna fight is still gonna be stronger.
Right.
So you gotta learn. So it's like I'm definitely going immediately right now, all in the AI. Like I'm killing everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I probably would.
But I think, like I said, I think from what I'm enjoying of it is how it's drawn and how it looks. And like I said, certain things that catch me on it, like certain things like that is what catch me when it comes to an indie game. And like I said, this one is I probably played about because Guardians took that over. Yeah. But I probably played about a good half an hour of it, and I really did enjoy it. I think it's going to finish too. So that's mine.
All right, well then the OG recommendation, make sure you go to GeeksetPodcast.com, check out all our past episodes, make sure you check out the blog, make sure you go to the shop, man. We got a lot of dope merch on there. We got the spooky collection that's still up, you know what I'm saying? You can still get some.
Still there.
You can just get a happy mood.
Make sure you follow us on all social media at Geekset Podcast. One of the best ways to support us is, man, we got our YouTube, man. It's go to youtube.com/Geekset. Our Patreon, patreon.com/Geekset. And, we have tiers from $1 to $50. We have different perks that you gotta get. We got really dope behind the scenes. We got early shows. We got the chance to talk to some of the ask the guest questions, and just anything that we're doing creatively, it generally goes there first. Another way to support us is join our Discord, man. It's a really dope community of dope people, just talking about just anything geek stuff, but also pop culture stuff, hip hop stuff. It's just all within there, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's really dope. And then as always, man, this is the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. And we are out.
Peace.